Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful Kirtan, Prabhuji.
Haribol Prabhuji.
Haribol. Thank you, Bipul Prabhu, for such wonderful kirtan. We have Ranjana Mataji also joining. Kuldeep Prabhu, Ekant Prabhu, Chandramouli Prabhu. Chandramouli Prabhu, you want to do a few minutes of kirtan? I want to hear from you.
Sure, Prabhu. I'll try.
Please.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, that was so wonderful. Thank you, Chandramali Prabhu.
Thank you.
I wish to see you also.
My daughter is also there. She's just like disturbing me, so I'm like, I just
Oh,
turned off the
see.
video.
Yeah, if you're in a position, if the devotees present here are in a position to turn on cameras, you can please turn on. We will, no, that's fine. And if you're wearing casual clothes, or that's fine. Don't feel shy. So thank you. It's good. Good to see you, Binkin Prabhu, Chandramali Prabhu. Ranjana Mataji is also there. And I think Kishan Prabhu, the giver, right? Is that Kishan Prabhu?
Yes.
I really like your nickname, the giver. It's a great thing to give for the welfare of others, right? And today we learned in the Bhagavad Gita class, actually, in chapter 5, that those who give for the welfare of others are really happy. So thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ranjana Mataji is also there. Would you or Ashwin or want to do Kirtan? Anyone from your family? Just a few minutes? Or speak any verse or anything before we start?
Go ahead.
Yeah, camera bhi on kar do. Darshan hoenge aapke. Hari Bol, so happy to see you.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji. Thank you for having my I just have my camera on. I wouldn't do any worse, but I think a kirtan would be fine, like a simple kirtan. 2 minutes. Okay. Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara, Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara, Nanda Kumara, Madana Gopala, Nanda Kumara, Madana Gopala, Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa, Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa, Mohana Rupa, Nanda Kumara, Mohana Rupa, Nanda Kumara, Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara, Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hey, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. And Vande Krishna Nanda Kumar, Vande Krishna Nanda Kumar, Madana Gopal, Nanda Kumar, Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa, Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa, Nanda Kumara, Vrindavan Nanda Kumar, Vande Krishna Nanda Kumar, Vande Krishna Nanda Kumar, Vande Krishna Nanda Kumar, Vande Krishna Nanda Kumar. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol.
Wonderful. Our ears are blessed after a long time, Ashwin Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such wonderful kirtan. Anyone else really wanting to do kirtan? Sridhama Prabhu, what do you say? Shall we discuss a few things about Janmashtami and or cover the Bhakti Vriksha thing? Or
I think we can discuss Janmashtami, Prabhuji.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So I see a lot of devotees have joined from the regular group, and I hope and anticipate more devotees will come in the next few minutes or some time. But what could be a better blessing to talk about Janmashtami, to celebrate the festival of Shri Krishna Janmotsav, right? So I was thinking that we can read something from Krishna book to set our consciousness, to set our mood and prepare ourselves for the upcoming festival, right? Even if it's your child's birthday, you don't plan things on that day, right? Anyone just plans on that day? No, we plan beforehand, whom will we invite, what things we need, how will we cook, what do we do, and things like that, how do we decorate. It's for an ordinary person. No, we are all very tiny, insignificant people. We are Anu, Krishna is Vibhu. How much preparation we do for someone's son's daughter's birthday? A lot, which is good. How much more we should do for Krishna's birthday, isn't it? We should do a lot of preparation, correct? Because it's the birthday of the Supreme Lord, Sri Hari, Sri Govinda, Sri Krishna. So we must do a lot of preparation, and that helps us to bring all of us more together in a Krishna conscious way, to nurture and strengthen the relationships of the Vaishnava community, right? Keeping Krishna as the center, serving together, brainstorming together, how do we best serve, right? So we had multiple meetings, we'll continue to have multiple meetings to do this, multiple sevas, like most of you were there last year, right? Was it fun? Oh, all over there last year. And you participated in some way or form, right? Wonderful. So let's begin with some reading of Krishna book. It's the chapter entitled The Birth of Lord Krishna. Okay. So maybe everyone can read a paragraph or two, so we can set up our consciousness for the next 30 minutes, and then we'll talk about other things as well. So let's begin. Maybe Vipul Prabhu, you can begin the reading.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanavad Pranam, all grace to Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that his appearance, birth, and activities are all transcendental, and that one who understands them factually becomes immediately eligible to be transferred to the spiritual world. The Lord's appearance or birth is not like that of an ordinary man who is forced to accept a material body according to his past deeds. The Lord's appearance is explained in the second chapter. He appears out of his own sweet pleasure. When the time was mature for the appearance of the Lord, the constellations became very auspicious. The astrological influence of the star known as Rohini was predominant. This star is considered to be very auspicious and is under the direct supervision of Brahma. According to the astrological conclusion, besides the proper situation of the stars, there are auspicious and inauspicious moments due to the different situations of the different planetary systems. At the time of Krishna's birth, the planetary system were automatically adjusted so that everything became auspicious.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So the planets adjust themselves. Right? This is a beautiful point which shows Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He's not on the grip of the planets. The planets adjust because the Lord has to appear. Let's read the next. Someone wants to read? Namohan Prabhu? Or Bankim Prabhu, you want to read? Yeah.
On that, at the time, in all direction, east, west, south, north, everywhere, there was an atmosphere of space and prosperity. There were auspicious stars visible in the sky and on the surface of the earth, in all town and village and first turning ground and within the mind of everyone. There were sin of good fortune. The river were flowing full of water, and lakes were beautiful, decorated with lotus flower. The forests were full with beautiful birds and peacocks. All the birds within the forest began to sing with sweet voice, and the peacock being to dance along with their consort. The wind blew very pleasantly, carrying the aroma of different flower, and the sensation of bodily touch was very pleasing. At home, the Brahmanas who were accustomed to offering sacrifices, sacrifices in the fire found their home very pleasant of offering due to disturbance created by the demonic king. The sacrifice fire and fire had been almost stopped in the house of Brahmanas, but now they could find their opportunity of start the fire peacefully, being forbidden to offer sacrifice. The Brahmanas had been very much disturbed in mind, intelligence, and activities, but just on the point of Krishna appearance, automatically their mind become full of joy because they could hear transcendental vibration in the sky, proclaiming pro- proclaiming the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Bankim Prabhu. So, in this paragraph, we see that the air is pleasant, the minds are free from distress. Why? Because the Lord appears. It's a great lesson. When the Lord appears in the life of a person, then all the Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu, all the Abhadras are gone. The peacocks are dancing. The birds are singing sweet voices. Basically, everyone is doing their best. The flowers are decorated. The lakes are decorated with flowers. The rivers are flowing full of waters. The nakshatras have set up in the proper arrangement. Why? Because the Lord is coming. So it's a great meditation that everyone is working in harmony to do their best for the appearance of the Lord. So let's read the next two. Anyone? Yes. Babu Prabhu.
The denizens of Gandharva and Kinnara planets began to sing, and the denizens of Siddhaloka, the planets of Charanas, began to offer praise in the service of personality of Godhead. In the heavenly planets, the angels and their wives, along with the Vidyadharas and their wives, began to dance. The great sage and demigods, being pleased, began to shower flowers. At the seashore, there was a sound of mild waves, and above the sea, there were clouds in the sky, which began to thunder very pleasingly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Same theme here. Everyone is doing their best. The Gandharvas and Kinnaras have a quality that they can sing very nicely. They are doing their best. The Brahmanas are doing their best. Everyone is doing their best. Why? For one purpose, to serve the Lord. Let's see the next one. Yes, Ram Mohan Prabhu, do you want to read this one? Yeah, please unmute, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. When things were adjusted like this, Lord Vishnu, who is residing within the heart of every living entity, appeared in the darkness of night as the Supreme Personality of Godhead before Devaki, who appeared as one of the demigoddesses. The appearance of Lord Vishnu at that time could be compared to the rising of the full moon over the eastern horizon. The objection may be raised that since the Lord Krishna appeared on the earth the day of the waning moon, there could be no rising of the full moon. In answer to this, it may be said that the Lord Krishna appeared in the dynasty which is in the hierarchy of the moon. Therefore, although the moon was incomplete on that night because of the Lord's appearance in dynasty, wherein the moon is himself the original person, the moon was in overjoyous condition. So by the grace of Krishna, he could appear just like a full moon. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Very well. Thank you so much, Prabhu. In Mayapur, there's a Krishna Chandra Uday Mandir. So whenever Krishna is present, that's the best of the moons. Because who can compare to the brilliance, and the moon gives light and the moon gives cooling effect. So similarly, one has Krishna in their life, that's the best of the moons. So let's see the next one. Who wants to read? Anyone?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, please.
Vasudeva saw that wonderful child born as a, is it correct, Prabhuji? As a,
I think the previous one, yeah.
Okay. In an astronomical treatise by the name Kamanikya, the constellation at the time of the appearance of Lord Krishna are very nicely described. It is confirmed that the child born at that auspicious moment was the Supreme Brahman, or the Absolute Truth. Vasudeva saw that wonderful child born as a baby with 4 hands holding conch shell, club, disc, and lotus flower, decorated with the mark of Srivatsa, wearing the jeweled necklace of Kaustuba stone, dressed in yellow silk, appearing dazzling like a bright blackish cloud, wearing a helmet bedecked with the Vaidhurya stone, valuable bracelets, earrings, and similar other ornaments all over his body, and beautiful by an abundance of hair on his head. Due to the extraordinary features of the child, Vasudeva was struck with wonder. How could a newly born child be so decorated? He could therefore understand that Lord Krishna had now appeared, and he became overpowered by the occasion. Vasudeva very humbly wondered that although he was an ordinary living entity conditioned by material nature and was externally imprisoned by Kamsa, The all-pervading personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Krishna, had appeared as a child in his home, exactly in his original position. No earthly child is born with 4 hands decorated with ornaments and nice clothing, fully equipped with all the signs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Over and over again, Vasudeva glanced at his child and he considered how to celebrate this auspicious moment. Generally, when a male child is born, he thought people observe the occasion with jubilant celebrations. And in my home, although I am imprisoned, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has taken birth. How many millions and millions of times should I be prepared to observe this auspicious ceremony? Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Very nice. So this tells that Krishna is not an ordinary person. Any child born with 4 hands, with ornaments and kostuba jewels and whatnot. Did anyone of you experience that for your kids, grandkids? All right. When Krishna is born, he is transcendental. He chooses his parents, he chooses the time, he chooses everything. And look at the mood of Vasudeva. That's what we discussed at the beginning also. When an ordinary child is born, people prepare for that occasion. They're happy. I'm blessed with the child, or my family is blessed with a child. All the family members are happy. How many millions and millions of times more I should be prepared? So his kind of feeling is like, no, I'm so unfortunate in one way. I'm imprisoned. I can't celebrate my child's birthday, right? So he wants to do a lot of big festival, like all of you who are very eager to celebrate Krishna's birthday. But sometimes we also feel in that mood that we are somehow caught up with certain constraints in this COVID. We want to invite everyone. We want to have a grand festival. But sometimes some situations for everyone's welfare and safety are concerning. But nonetheless, where there is a will, there is a way. We will still do it online and meet maybe 1 or 2 different devotees' places and do this to the best of our ability and give a chance for others also to participate by having, kirtan, Krishna Katha, coloring competition, fancy dress competition, abhishek. And even if the person is viewing it on a Zoom from their home, it's as good as, being physically there. So we did that last year. We plan to do that this year. There are certain constraints, but I'm sure with all of your cooperation and enthusiastic spirits to celebrate Janmashtami, we'll do it again and again, over and over. But the spirit of Vasudeva is very, very inspiring. That the devotee always wants to do more and more, millions and millions of times better than one would do for their son or daughter, because he's a supreme personality of Godhead has taken birth. No ordinary child. The Lord, the Parabrahman, the Sakshat Bhagavan has come, is descended. So we should be very happy, joyful, and do our very best. So let's see what happened further. Anyone who has not yet read, wanting to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yeah, it's
When Vasudeva, who is also called Anaka Dundubhi, was looking at his newborn baby, he was so happy that he wanted to give many thousand of cows in charity to the Brahmanas. According to the Vedic system, whenever there is an auspicious ceremony in the Kshatriya king's palace, out of joy, the king gives many things in charity. Cows decorated with golden ornaments are delivered to the Brahmanas and sages. Vasudeva wanted to perform a charitable ceremony to celebrate Krishna's appearance, but because he was shackled within the walls of Kamsa's prison, this was not possible. Instead, within his mind, he gave thousands of cows to the Brahmanas. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nice. Vasudev's another name is Anakdandubi. When he was born, it was like transcendental trumpets, Dundubi. This musical instrument were blowing to announce his special purpose for appearance. Later, Lord Krishna will take birth or be born. The point was, he was not in a position to offer charity. Why? Because he was imprisoned. He was in the Kamsa's jail. So he made a vow at that time that I will donate. What he did? Cows decorated with golden ornaments. Out of joy, he gave many things in charity. So that means that the pledging system comes from here, actually. Right? So, and then later when he got a chance, he did that, right? Because at that point he was bound by the imprisonment. But he made a vow. Why? Because celebration is not in receiving. Actually, it is in giving. We were discussing this in the Bhagavad Gita class also. The real happiness is not in satisfying the senses, but to saying no to the senses and rather use those senses for the pleasure of others, for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. That gives real happiness. We were discussing last time. Bankim Prabhu is a classic example of that. Bankim Prabhu, you tell us, what gives you more pleasure? When you eat prasad, or when you serve prasad to others and you see happiness on their faces, what gives you more happiness?
One is Sar Prasadam Prabhuji.
Right, that's amazing. This comes in the Guru Ashtakam also, right? Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado Swadvarna Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangha Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajata Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam. When the spiritual master and a pure soul sees the disciples are nicely engaged in offering 4 types of foodstuffs to the Lord and they are honoring that prasad, the Guru is very happy. So a pure soul, a true devotee, is happy in serving others, in giving. In giving, we receive. The pleasure of giving is much more than the pleasure of receiving. So here we see he's giving immense charity. Bhagavad Gita also says, Yagya Dana Tapa Pavanani Manishinam, 18.5. Great souls must not stop 3 things, Yagya, Dan, and Tapa. The Yagya is Sankirtan Yagya, chanting, reading, hearing, etc. Yagya, Tapa, austerities. We don't have to go to forest, stand on one leg, all that. But simple austerities, getting up early, following Ekadashi, following regulative principles, celebrating festivals, we must do. And Yagya, Tapa, Dan. Here we're talking about charity, Dan. So especially this is something which only one ashram has the privilege, or I would say the monetary charity. Other ashrams give charity in different ways. Like the sannyasis, they give charity by sharing Krishna Katha with others. The brahmanas or the brahmacharis, they're not working, or they're working completely dedicated to Krishna. So they're giving charity by giving their sangha to others, by giving their knowledge, bhakti to others, by traveling, etc. Vanaprastha ashram, also they're traveling, sharing Krishna Katha. But the very special benediction which the grihasthas, which applies to most here, or grihasthas means those who are working or have some form of income, active, passive, or hybrid, whatever. some form of income if one is having in whatever way, job, business, other things, product, services, whatever, then one must share that. Why? For the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, to help the mission of Srila Prabhupada, so that more and more people can receive the mercy of the Lord by sharing books, by sharing the Krishna consciousness. And we all know that we have a very noble mission of having a center, a temple in Tampa. So all that will happen and manifest when we all come together and help each other and keep reminding ourselves of our goal, of our mission, of our selfless service to the Supreme Lord and His devotees. So charity is a very, very noble thing which Grihasthas are blessed with, and they must execute. Here, Vasudev is showing by his noble example. This is real joy. It is not out of force. Charity must not be given out of bad mood. Hey, now I'm caught up out of some social pressure. Now I'm forced to give something because other is giving. If I don't give, I'll look the odd one. This is not the real mood of charity. Is out of joy. It's out of a great cause, understanding the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada, understanding that how much the world is hungry for Krishna consciousness, understanding there is a great need for more and more people to take to the process of bhakti, understanding that the people are suffering in this day and age because of lack of Krishna consciousness, because of lack of their relationship with God, the Supreme Lord, lack of understanding the true self. We are suffering. Our forgetfulness with Krishna, we are suffering. And how all that can be removed? By more and more Krishna consciousness. And we all certainly are on this page that celebrating festivals like these, Janmashtami, and other such festivals, it will certainly help, right? How many of you agree that celebrating Janmashtami, other such festivals, will help to spread the message of bhakti with others? Right? So let's take some thoughts, some comments for what we have read so far, and then we'll take it forward. Anyone wants to say something for what we have read, heard, discussed? I see a few more devotees also have joined. Rabindra Prabhu and Shweta Goyal Mataji, Ryan Mataji. Thank you so much for your kind association. Sudhir Prabhu has also joined. Kuldeep Prabhu as well. Haribol, Puna Mataji. Thank you so much. Shudha Prabhu, Vipul Prabhu, you want to say something? Sudhir Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna, devotees. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, as nicely explained by you, there is so much joy in giving, no doubt. That is the best feeling one can have, especially to Krishna, because everything belongs to him. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam, sarvaloka maheshwaram. There is nothing better than that. And he's our best friend, Surdam sarvabhutanam. So, and Janmashtami is definitely probably the most auspicious moment that we can say a big thank you to Krishna. There are other festivals too, but Janmashtami we should all do our best to celebrate in the grand way as much as possible, given the pandemic situation and so on. That's all I have to say, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Maybe the other. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji. So Krishna said that yat karashi yat ashnashi. So even before going to work, we should say, Krishna, we are going to serve you through as a super soul to others. So, and definitely is a Krishna's birthday, direct serving, uh, not Paramatma, directly Bhagavan. So we should do our best physically, financially, and all the way possible to make it a great success like last year or better than last year. Back to Manish.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, yes, Prabhu. Raman, Prabhu, please.
Wonderful pranam, dear devotees. So, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He supplies us with every single thing, including intelligence, wealth, health, and everything. And we should most in a gratitude way celebrate this with pomp, and we should give all our energies and time to do this to the best that we can do it. That's my contribution. Hare Krishna.
That's
Hare
amazing. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu, please.
So I think definitely, Krishna, because of Krishna, we are here, and the Bhagavad Gita, through that he has shared, the secret knowledge to entire the people. And when somebody, it's something we all has to celebrate, because it's very important. And from the knowledge, especially as Ramchandra mentioned, knowledge, wealth, or intellect, everything given by Krishna. The celebration should be grand. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu, Babu, Prabhu. You're amazing. We're especially inspired by you and your whole family, so actively involved in all the processes of bhakti. Very amazing. Thank you. Sudhir Prabhu, Karthik Prabhu, you want to say something? Or any other devotees want to share some thoughts or additions before we talk about planning and other things? Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, so like most of you may be already aware of these elements, but I just want to quickly bring up to everyone's attention. And at this point, I'm going to stop the YouTube video. If the people who are, is that okay? Because they're trying to share some numbers and stuff. So yeah, anyone watching online or who will be watching online, if you want to help support in any way, reach out to Sudhir Prabhu, Karthik Prabhu, Vipul Prabhu, myself, or Sridhama Prabhu. We're always looking for ideas to do better service, and suggestions are always welcome. And if any way you want to help guide